So here we are, welcome to the first official coaster review on the channel. My name is Verre and today we're going to talk about the ride to happiness by Tomorrowland at Plopsaland de Panne. Let's kick things off with our first category, and that is of course appearance. The ride to happiness at Plopsaland de Panne in Belgium looks absolutely insane of ride. It has a special color which I think is a mix between purple and red, and has white supports. It's an interesting color scheme, but nonetheless it does look really great. Ride to happiness is not that super high for such an extreme coaster, but when you stand underneath it, it still seems pretty, intimidating or something. The extreme spinning coaster type trains built by Mack Rides and also used on Time Traveler in Silver Dollar City are super nice and feel luxurious when you see them chase by. This is also because they are super heavy and you can, hear that quite clearly. The ride to happiness has an interesting top hat structure in which the zero G roll fits awesomely. It adds a serious positive change to the park skyline and can be seen from far away. When you walk in the area that Ride to Happiness is in, you also feel surrounded by the track, which gives a cool view of the coaster. For appearance overall, I give it a 9.5 out of 10 because it just looks so freaking cool. Now let's get a bit technical. The Ride to Happiness is a Mack Extreme Spinning Coaster, which is the first coaster of its type in the whole of Europe. Ride to Happiness uses an electromagnetic launch system with linear synchronization motors, which in short are LSMs. This is used to get to the top speed of 90 km an hour, which doesn't seem much, but it feels faster than it is with the spinning aspect. It has a total length of 920 meters, which is ironically the same freaking length as the other extreme spinning coaster, but yeah, why not?
Coincidence? I think not!
The highest point of the ride is 33 meters, that is exactly the same as the other launch coaster at Plopsaland de Panne, called Anubis, and has a capacity of 800 people an hour. That's not the best, but it's doable, especially for a park that's not made for thrill rides such as this one. The Ride to Happiness officially opened in 2021 along with Conda at Walibi Belgium, so that means that Belgium had a heck of a year in 2021 in terms of coasters and cost a total of 17.5 million euros to build. For the technical aspect, I give it a 9 out of 10, because it just works perfectly, I guess. Except for that one time that it got stuck on the top hat. Let's talk about the queue line of the Ride to Happiness. The queue line has some amazing magical music with a steampunk vibe and some moving objects. You also come across the kind of animated woman more and more in the queue, and you come across concepts and drawings of the attractions and the theming. Then you go a bit outside, which is kind of cool because you're in between the switch deck for the storage, the final brake run and the last curve of the ride. Then you go upstairs and then you're right under the station. Here you see that animated thing again, gears moving, and you can even see the mechanism for the gates above you, while you also hear good music that gets you in the mood. Then you go up the last stairs which bring you to the station. This is an incredibly beautiful station with serious music that gets you excited a lot. Here is the last time you see the animated woman telling you a story that after this ride, your life changes forever. Here live today, love tomorrow, unite forever is said before you leave the station. Here begins the best layout of all time. Moving on to the ride itself, the layout of Ride to Happiness is a coaster enthusiast's dream. Let's start with what's after the station, and that is a curved JoJo roll, or how the heck do you pronounce it? You get some amazing hang time and lateral G-forces when entering the element. Also with the spinning aspect, it's an interesting feeling of almost falling out.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Following this is the first LSM launch. This is a standing launch, so it needs cooling and is loaded with the cooling elements than the other launch. This is I think the most powerful launch I've ever experienced on a Mack coaster, because in general the launches made on Mack's coasters are not that really powerful. When launching you also get a push of another magnet that spins you around when you're going towards the next element, which is the top hat. When you're on the front row you get some ridiculous ejector airtime on the first part of the top hat, which is of course amazing. On the top hat you have an outward banked curve and the main drop which literally yeets you when you're on the back. You're entering your first valley when you reach the second inversion, and that's a banana roll. I have no idea who named this element, but yeah, it's a cool name I guess. The banana roll gives an awesome view when you look down. Then you're entering an iconic vertical loop with some hang time in the middle. When you're going through it sideways, it gives a fantastic upside down view of the park. Following this, you enter the zero G roll. When going through it sideways again, you get some great lateral G-forces and floater hang time as well. The next part is a gentle banked curve on the top of the Super Splash, also built by Mack Rides. Hopefully you're not on that part when it splashes because oh boy, you're about to get yanked by high pressure water. Following this you enter a twisted sort of airtime mill without any good G's, but that leads you to the second lunge. This is not a standard rolling lunge, it's a rolling lunge with an airtime mill in it. It gives an awesome feeling flying while accelerating into the next element. Here is some discussion about the name of this element, from flying snake dive to step up underflip, but I like to call it the double reverting dive loop, because that's also what the layout designer describes it as. This is an extremely unique inversion because it's weird but also super cool when you're spinning through it and looking to the sky or the ground. You also get some interesting G-forces with it. Following this you're about to get whipped to the side on the twisted ejector airtime hill. Next you'll enter a 90-degree bank into the last two ejector hills, which bring you to the final break on. Those two last hills really yeet you out of your seat. I give the layout of Ride to Happiness a full 10 out of 10, because it's just a perfect layout. Perfect! Theming and music are where the Ride to Happiness truly shines. Plopsaland de Panne and Tomorrowland partnered up to create some sort of steampunky-like themed area, with the music made by Hans Zimmer. The queue, that is truly beautiful by the way, and the area itself have a magical vibe, because that's what Tomorrowland stands for. And the station has some amazing bass music with a screen animatronic that hypes you up for your adventure, with the catchy slogan. The ride itself has some fantastic onboard music that really pumps you up during your ride. Sometimes the speakers can't handle the bass that the music provides, but that's just a minor detail. The theming and music make the Ride to Happiness a world-class attraction. That's why I give it a 9.5 out of 10. It just adds so much to the overall experience. Moving on to Comfortness and Smoothness, Ride to Happiness has a standard macro restraints, but these ones are automatic so you don't have to close them manually. These restraints are very comfortable, although they push down a little bit. The track is very smooth, of course, but on my last ride I felt some rattling during the valleys, but not so hard that it took away from the experience. For smoothness and comfort I overall give a 9 out of 10. And lastly, for my overall thoughts, the Ride to Happiness by Tomorrowland isn't just a roller coaster, it's a complete experience. It stands as my #1 best coaster I've ridden, and that's with a reason. It has some amazing forces, more negative G-forces than positive G's though, but yeah, and has some fantastic theming and powerful music that really adds to the overall experience. It's smooth and blows me away every time I ride it. Mach Rides itself has outdone themselves again, and I also think that Mach is climbing the leaderboard as the best coaster constructor on the whole planet, but that's for later. For overall thoughts I give Ride to Happiness a full 10 out of 10, the best coaster I've been on. So this was my first ever review of the second extreme spinning coaster of the world. Let me know what you think of this coaster and also what you think of this video. I have still some figuring out to do in terms of reviews, so this is also my first test review. So if you want, give me some feedback. For the information, I'm making this review in English because this is more international and so more people understand it. That's why some words might be mispronounced, because I'm from Belgium and I don't speak English as my native language. So don't judge my English please, I'm trying my best. If you like this video and if you wanna see more of this kind of videos, be sure to hit the like button and of course don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. See you!